Once everything stopped spinning, she hides in an empty tree trunk. The woods became much clearer, and through a chain of jagged splinters that stuck ever so sharp up and ever so dark up, like a hand, two brown eyes focused on the slender winding row of trees. Her brother, standing too many yards away to see her, sighed to squint at fading rays of sunlight as they skipped across wavelengths in their march back to bed. She had on her black stockings, dressed up like a nice young girl, but Sascha's not a terrible girl, though her brother might have said so. If you'd asked the devil questions, you could have sooner expected truer answers from someone so scared and horrible, from someone so tired and horrible as Sascha's brother. But any foolish parent thinks he never meant to hurt her. And one might say that someone so young cannot know harm like what they do. But here's a soiled, sleeky clue. What brother sighs at dusk, but laughs when his sister runs from him, the way that Sascha runs, whenever he feels like making her cry, whenever he feels like making her hurt. She was wearing such black stockings, and she strained her brown eyes through the trunks, just more trees up and over that spread out through the weeping farmland. And when she braved enough to step out from hiding, her left stocking caught on the split bark like some hook and went tear till she tripped in the rip and went stumbling into the bracken. But this time Gentry could see her, and back came his smile as he plodded out of the corn into the woods. These parents that left their children at home did not hear their daughter screaming, did not see her run through the French doors, did not watch her run past the fish pool with her brother at her heels screaming her name. These parents, in their brilliant wisdom, never ever knew how bad he could beat her, never ever heard his sick swine mouth utter such things that he wanted Sascha to do. Never ever listened to their children. Never ever could they get past themselves. This wasn't the first time that Sascha tried running away. A couple of times on a couple of the days, it was the same routine. Gentry in his riding boots, wading through the marsh, saying into the dark, Sascha, come back now, please. And into the dark, his voice will always resound with hollow reverb. Because it's not always going to work for the boys like Gentry, for the men like his father, for the tears they breed and the hate they feed. Following that row, Sascha bounced into a canter and almost fell where the back of the barn hit the space between her brown eyes. Look, he was on her back, so she hid, quick in the cellar where the dairy stalls lay bare and gray, and reeking the death of a raccoon with worms well into it. There she waited, and like he's playing bad things forever, she'd see her bedroom door open up and creak once more, as Sascha's brother slips in bed, while the parents can stay up late and drink gin and tonics, till they sleep till mom pukes, but never till they're drunk enough to give a good goddamn to go upstairs and kiss their sleeping babies on their heads, on their cheeks. So as the sun fell back behind the hills, poor Sascha forces shut her eyes just to try to make the flashes go away. But they never do. I know they never do. They never ever do. To break her weary watch came Gentry's voice. It's awful late. Mom and Dad would be home soon. How comforting to know. How comforting to wait. And when he came around the corner and grabbed her by the braids, she felt the tears come spilling out. So she broke away and took after the stairs. Gentry got a little madder, till he caught up on the hay floor stacked. He knocks her to her knees. She bleeds. Crying for anything, crying for nothing. It is all just the same. But there the wood rots, and they both went through. And when they both came down on the cement cellar, where the cows used to milk for hours, only one broke their neck, and died so quick that when the crying ceased, the live one knew that it was over. Really over. Really over now. And when they stood up in their black stockings, they fell down twice as quick over their brother, like they'd lost their only friend, like they'd never be the same, not again. Sascha cried, so Sascha wept. Sascha creeps back to the house, and still that movie, like Bad Things Always, comes on screaming, like bad dreams do so much. They do so much. Sasha's brother Gentry was buried someday, because he died when he fell, and he died when he fell. Sasha's brother Gentry doesn't beat her anymore, because he died in the basement of a rotting dairy barn. And Sasha's brother Gentry doesn't crawl into her bed when the lights go out, when the parents won't check. Sasha's brother Gentry left a hole in his sister, because she'll never ever understand what a brother is for his sister, what her parents are for children, what an I am for a they, what a lover's for another. Sasha's brother Gentry left a hole in his heart, because he'll never understand what a life is past his 12-year death, what a person is for a person when they grow up being beaten, when they grow up being raped, when they grow up hurt and dying, because someone else is so scared that they never ever stop. Sasha's brother Gentry left a hole in his sister, because she'll never ever understand what could make a boy so sad, what could tear and rip and shred, take a life and leave it dead, why a person's no such thing as how they hate themselves so much.